Hello, my name is Andrew and welcome to a new episode of SpoilerView, where our sole purpose is to discuss movies. In this episode of our Marvel Cinematic Universe Extravaganza, I'm gonna be talking about Captain America the First Avenger. This movie was very different from the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe because it was set in the 1940s. The first appearance of Captain America in comics was in 1941 in Captain America Comics #1. When World War II ended, obviously this had a direct result in the comics being published, and in 1950 the comics stopped being published. In 1964, Stan Lee brought the character back to life. He brought it back to life into the Avengers. The result of this was that he very quickly became a very popular character in the comics. Even though I love the character, this is my least favorite movie of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It was directed by Joe Johnston. The movie was written by Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely, who ended up writing Captain America the Winter Soldier. The soundtrack was composed by Alan Silvestri. I think he's amazing. What's more important is that he ended up composing the Avengers soundtrack as well. Back in 2010, I think, when they announced that Chris Evans was cast as Captain America, I was really disappointed. I didn't want him as that character, basically because he had been the Human Torch in the terrible Fantastic Four movies. But I did ended up liking Chris Evans as Captain America in this film. Even though I didn't like the movie, I think that his portrayal of Captain America was very true to the comics. We also have Hugo Weaving as the Red Skull. Well, first of all, his accent, he tries to make a German accent, and I don't think it worked very well. And the other thing is, they tried showing Hugo Weaving more by making him making the Red Skull use this mask, but I didn't think it worked that well. I mean, I think it was terrible. He should have been just the Red Skull the whole movie. The Red Skull is this very, very scary guy, and he's the worst of Nazis. He's really one of the worst guys in the Marvel comic universe. Hayley Atwell as Peggy Carter. I love Peggy Carter. I think that the idea that she's much tougher than Steven Rogers at the first, at least, is, I mean, it's very cool. She's one of the founding members of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I think this ends up being very cool for the universe as a whole. She is really very important in this universe, and during the movie we don't really see how important she really is. We also see Dominic Cooper as Howard Stark, Tony Stark's father, of course. I think he really nailed it by showing that he really was his son's father. Even though he was a different character, you could see that he was definitely Howard Stark. Another character that we have is Sebastian Stan as Bucky Barnes. What's important here is that in this movie we had to see that he was the best friend of Steve Rogers. I think they showed this very well, but I would have liked to see more of their relationship. Some characters that I think worth mentioning are the Howling Commandos. They're Cap's platoon, and I think they could have exploded them so much better. They really are Cap's best friends. They ended up showing them more than halfway through the movie, and the second half, after we're introduced to them, we really don't see them much. They were very interesting characters, and I wanted to see more of them, but I never got to. Some of the pros for the movie. The first one is how they show Steve Rogers being skinny and then his transformation. One very important part about this story is that they do end up showing that Bucky Barnes' transformation into the Winter Soldier started during the movie. They don't emphasize on that very much. I think it was very important for the rest of the development of his character. Now I'm gonna mention some of the cons that the movie has, and I think there are a lot, so bear with me. There's so many voiceless sequences, action sequences. Captain America and the Howling Commandos destroying this, Captain America and the Howling Commandos destroying that, Captain America being this propaganda guy and not a superhero. So many sequences that were very long and very unnecessary. These sequences were so long that I ended up losing interest in the character. They show that Hydra's like this investigations division within the Nazi party, but in the end they only show Nazis at one point in the movie and they kill them immediately, like to cut the cord. I don't know if they were trying to disconnect Red Skull completely from the Nazis, when that's a very important part in this character. The way they show Hydra in this movie is completely opposite from the way that Hydra is in the comics. In the comics, it's a scary organization that really can be everywhere, like they showed in Captain America the Winter Soldier. The way they show it is like only this guy can have the technology, because if he didn't, he really would have been defeated really easily. This destroys all the mental capabilities that the Red Skull has in the comics. I mean, in the comics he's a really smart guy and that's why he's so dangerous. In this one they only show that he was dangerous because he basically had the best weapons. And also they don't end up showing what he does. He is a super soldier and we only see this in one fight at the very end. The rest of the movie he's basically killing people for no reason at all and giving commands. That's all he does during the whole movie. The only thing that I really like about the movie is the very end. When Captain America crashes the ship into the ice was the only part that really got me excited, because I knew that it meant we were already gonna be connecting to the Avengers. Finally, the after credit scene that we got in this movie wasn't really an after credit scene because it came right after the movie ended. It didn't wait until the credits, so it was part of the movie. And it's the revival of Cap when he wakes up in New York nowadays. I think it was cool because we saw Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury. He's always awesome. Other than that, we didn't get an after credit scene. Actually, the only after credit scene that we really had, I mean, after the credits, was a trailer for the Avengers. I mean, what the hell? After this very long rant on the movie, I'm gonna talk about the ratings. They're much higher than what I thought of the movie, obviously. IMDb has 6.8 out of 10, which is very good. Rotten Tomatoes has 7.9, which is exaggerated. And Metacritic has 6.6. What I think of the movie is that it's got a rating of 5. It's got some redeeming qualities, as almost every movie has. I did enjoy it because it was part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but it really is the weakest link. The budget for the movie was 140 million, and domestically it ended up making more than 176 million, almost 177 million, and worldwide it made 370 million. The numbers speak for themselves. Obviously the movie made a lot of money, and obviously it got a sequel, but I think the reason that the movie had the box office success that it had is that it's part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and everyone knew that at this point. Thanks for watching this episode of SpoilerView. I hope you liked it. Sorry for the very long rant on the movie. I really didn't like it, but please tell me in the comments what you thought of the movie. Please thumbs up that thing and subscribe if you want to see the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe Extravaganza. I know I'm putting them up slowly, but they're gonna come. Thanks for watching. Bye!